Yep, it's getting Mergen in here. Y'all feeling Mergen? Mergen! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a big hand to this next fella. He's whiskey, he's gooder, he's Mergen as he can be, ladies and gentlemen. Waylon Whiskey! I like that Merca! Speaking of Merca, who likes drinking? Yeah! And people will say, well, if you drink that much, aren't you afraid about becoming an alcoholic? Aren't you a little worried about being an addict? Nah. Fuck no, I'm not worried about being an addict. You know why? Because there's one thing you have to have in you to be an addict. That's the urge to fucking stop. And I have no urge to stop, because if I stopped, then all the stuff that just kind of gets on my nerves would get on my last damn nerve. I'll give you an example, and this is just one of those little things. It's not like, you know, shit in the Middle East or politics or Obama or fucking everybody else. It's the little stuff. Like the churchy people that I work with, and they say, God, like, oh my God, my email's not working. Or, well, F that. Really? Seriously, you think God doesn't know what you're saying? You think changing some letters around and not enunciating is going to trick the almighty white guy on high? Really? No, you're just tricking yourself. Basically, instead of giving yourself the satisfaction of saying a good old fuck, you are jerking off with a rubber on. That is what you're doing. God knows the difference. You're not tricking him. You're just tricking yourself. And I just feel sorry for them, because I know these people aren't having good sex. So they're not even giving them the release of saying a good old bop. They can't do nothing. And speaking of unsatisfying sex, how many married people do we have out there? Alright, now that actually leads me into the next part, but how many single people do we have? Yeah! See the difference? The first is like a caged animal just trying for heat. The next one is like they know what they might get tonight. There's a difference. You know, and I will tell you one thing. If you're with someone and the sex is just out of this world, I'm talking fireworks are shooting right out of her ass every time she comes, don't marry her just for that. Make sure there's something a little more, because eventually you'll get married. And apparently, this wedding ring is actually a magical ring of I ain't swallowing that no more and stay away from my asshole. Nobody told me that. Now, I will say, if you work at it, and I have, sex can actually get better the longer you're married. It can. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you got home field advantage every single damn time. It's like you've got one video game. That's all you got. One. Call of Duty rocks, but that's the only fucking thing you get to play. And you get to play it over and over and over and over and over again. But eventually, you should be pretty damn good at Call of Duty, right? I mean, you should know every nook and cranny. You should know exactly where the sniping rifle is. And anytime you really need that big one, you know where that rocket launcher's at. You know the special moves, like up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Yes! Triple G spot, super soaker 5,000! Woo! Write that shit down and get a towel. For anyone that was paying attention, that was a squirting vagina joke. Now, however, things do change. No matter how hard you try to make it interesting, things change when you get married. Sex changes. It's different. Like when you're dating, you light the candles, you make sure everything smells good, you undress her slowly, you put on some music, you make sure the dog is out of the room. You know? When you're married and the sex is still good, you're just like, kids asleep? And it's like a tornado of assholes, elbows, bras, and underwear. You don't put the fucking dog out. You don't take all your clothes off. You don't even untangle the bed. There's no music. There's no candles. It's just straight to fucking. And then like right in the middle of it, you look over and there'll be the dog. Just looking at you. And he ain't impressed. You know, you're like, shut up, stop it. Your little head popped up on the side of the bed. You're like, I know what I'm doing. He's like, you ain't turned her over yet. I know what I'm doing, fuck you, honey, the dog. Oh, shit. And you don't even stop. Even when that like wet nose gets right in your honey hole, you don't stop. You can't stop. And the thing is you have to be good. You have to be good. Fellas, I mean, if you're married or if you've been in a long relationship, you better be good. You better leave her like a smoking wet spot. She can't be able to walk to the bathroom for at least 5 or 10 minutes. You know why? Because she puts up with all our crazy shit. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. We ain't right. We know we ain't right. We know it ain't right to get a boner watching Miley Cyrus video. But we can't help ourselves. We know it ain't right watching porn on our phones in church. We know it ain't right, but we can't help ourselves. We know it ain't right to sniff the asses of our jeans to see if they're dirty and we can wear them again. And we know it ain't right to sniff the asses of yours just hoping you can't. We know it ain't right. We know it ain't right to blame all the Cheeto dust on the couch on the 2-year-old. We know it's not right. We know it's not right to slip a roofie in your drink so that hopefully maybe we can watch a football game in fucking peace. We also know it ain't right to make sure that we leave the lights off in the bathroom and the toilet seat up so that we can hear that sploosh, what the fuck? We know it ain't right. We pretend we're sleeping, but we ain't, because it's funny as shit. We know it ain't right. And I'll tell you another thing. What we do when you're not around, that really ain't right. Like, and I don't think I'm the only one that's done this, but it's like you're sitting there and you're, you know, eating a snack and watching TV, and for some reason your dick gets hard for no damn reason.
I just don't want to keep it.
I don't know that I'm the only one that's ever played the Funyuns toss game. Nope. 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 Shit! This ain't working at all. And then you put the Funyuns back in the bag. Like I said, we know we ain't right because I don't like Funyuns. But my wife does. You know, and we know that it ain't right to add every single woman we meet, even the not hot ones, to the cast of thousands. You know what the cast of thousands is? That's the spank bank. You know, the face that you put on every girl that, like, when you go home and jack off by yourself, that's the face you put on it. Okay, no one's admitting to that one but me. But we do. And occasionally, even when we're having sex with you, and luckily my wife's not here right now, so I can say this, we put the face of a special one on there. You know that girl? Has anyone ever had that girl? You know the one that you had that you just didn't feel safe with? You knew that things weren't right. I mean, every time you were with her, it scared you. You know, I'm not talking about a slut. Anybody can be a slut. It doesn't take any talent to be a slut. I'm talking about a grade A freak. I'm talking about the one that when you go to their house, you end up like covered in chicken feathers with a dildo strapped to your head. Not because she wanted to use the dildo, just because she wanted a fucking unicorn. That girl. The girl with a Punisher's war chest in her closet. Of all kinds of uncomfortable shit, and it always smells of latex strawberries and regret. You know that girl. You know, and this girl, when she goes down on you, I mean, most of the time, like when your special lady, when your wife, when your girlfriend, when that woman you love goes down on you, it's for you. You're getting a treat. You got a raise. You did something good. You fixed the couch. I don't know what the fuck you get a blowjob for. I'm married. I don't get them. But that's stuff you do to get blowjobs. They're doing it as a treat. It's a special thing. This girl doesn't give a fuck about you. It's for her. She is going after your dick like the hamburger after a Big Mac. I mean, she is going after it like the fucking cure for crazy is in there. And normal ladies, bless your heart, you don't have a chance because you can't teach that shit. That shit right there only comes from years of molestation and abuse. Unfortunately, that's true. But I will say, you know, when it's your birthday, you know, your wife will give it the old college try. They'll do their best. You know, but a lot of times, after you've been together a while, right in the middle of it, they'll get distracted. Have you ever had that shit happen? Like, you know, they're doing their business, and then they're just like, oh, my mom called. Seriously? My dick's in your hand. I'm the most vulnerable I can be. You're going to stop and talk about your mom? I mean, I'm not old enough to need Viagra, extra, but you're about to put me there. You know, and then she's like, okay, oh well, and oh, the dishwasher broke, so we're gonna have you fix that this weekend. Shit, now it's stuff that I have to do that I don't want to do on the weekend that I don't have. Hey, you know, and then it's like, oh yeah, and we have dinner at your mom's this weekend, and we're bringing the ham. So you're just totally distracted, and then they're like,
Looks like ham.
yeah, there's hair there. It's always been there. Why you gonna pick at it? Your dick been eating Funyuns? Thank you, I'm Waylon whiskey. That's all my whiskey.